police are investigating a deadly stabbing. Police say around 2:30 yesterday afternoon, a man and woman were fighting near Wyoming and Central. The man was stabbed several times. A neighbor says he walked out and saw police trying to help that man who was on the ground.
They was frantic, he was moving and stuff. They was trying to work on him the best they could. They were doing the best they can.
That man died at the hospital. Police are now questioning the woman. They have not released either of their names. New Mexico State Police shot and killed a Texas fugitive yesterday. State police and U.S. Marshals were trying to arrest the man at the Along the River RV park outside of Ruidoso. He had a warrant for sexual contact with a minor. Police say he barricaded himself inside his RV. Police were there overnight Friday trying to negotiate, but they say the fugitive had a gun and threatened officers. His identity has not been released. The DA's office is pressing time card fraud charges against a Santa Fe cop. Lieutenant Jason Wagner has been on desk duty since August. A year and a half ago, then Santa Fe Police Chief Ray Rael confronted him over claims he was frequently working from home or leaving early without permission.
Given the number, it's more than just your bad. So how do you handle this? Because under any circumstances, this is a terminable offense.
Okay. I can't tell you how to handle this. I mean, I don't know what to say other than, I won't type at home and flex out time.
Wagner claimed it was necessary he worked from home because his job was to investigate other officers. He ultimately resigned only to be rehired by current chief Eric Garcia. Last week, Wagner was charged with 4 counts of time card fraud. All Santa Fe police will say now is Wagner will remain on alternative duty, meaning no contact with the public. An All-American softball player says a thief swiped her most prized possession and she wants it back.
I actually got it in remembrance of my uncle who passed away.
Alexis Snyder is a senior second baseman for Colorado State Pueblo University. The team was traveling to a tournament this week in Silver City when their bus broke down near an Albuquerque Fuddruckers. Within a couple of hours, a mechanic fixed the bus and the team was back on the road, but they forgot to latch the bus's back door. As they started driving, bags started flying out. Then they say a man in a white truck stole Snyder's bag. Inside it was her glove, a glove she's had her whole career and is a testament to her late uncle who died. It even has his initials MJW embroidered on it.
Just that I would really like it back. I mean, it happened, it's over with, but it's my glove. That's all I care about is my glove. It means a lot to me.
Snyder's coach did file a police report. Unfortunately, she says the truck got away too fast for her to write down a license plate number. Someone stole the New Mexico State basketball team's uniforms off of their bus. The Las Cruces Sun News reports the Aggies' white uniforms, which they wore Thursday against Utah Valley, were stolen off the team bus at a hotel in Salt Lake City on Friday. The university says a few other bags were also stolen. Because of the theft, the team wore its crimson uniforms last night against Grand Canyon. And police have caught a man accused of stealing from a grandmother at a popular Albuquerque shopping mall. APD arrested Jeremy Schwartz Friday. According to a criminal complaint, Schwartz and his accomplice Michael Stanton were caught on surveillance camera at the Apple store in Uptown, teaming up to swipe a woman's purse. Schwartz was in court yesterday. There's a warrant out for Stanton's arrest. Officials are asking people in one part of Albuquerque to use less water while they repair a major pipeline. The Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority says it wants people living east of Eubank and south of I-40 to conserve water starting tonight, running through Thursday morning. The Water Authority will be shutting down a pipeline to make repairs, and customers will get their water from a pair of reservoirs. To make sure it lasts, they're asking folks to turn off their sprinkler systems, wash their cars somewhere else, and to only use as much water as they need. If you see smoke east of Los Alamos today, it's because of a controlled burn. Officials say they're conducting the burn in the Los Alamos County open space lands. The fires mimic natural fires by reducing forest fuels and recycling nutrients. Snow and rain are heading across the northeastern part of the country. The new blast pounding regions still struggling to clean up from feet of snow and crippling cold temperatures. Anna Werner reports.
Snow, sleet, and freezing rain combined in Tennessee with bitterly cold temperatures. Officials say at least 18 people died, including 9 from hypothermia and 5 from car accidents on slick and snowy streets. Now, state officials are warning of flash flooding. Snow is falling in the nation's capital, and the storm is expected to continue heading north, hitting major cities along the East Coast through early Sunday. The National Weather Service predicts 3 to 8 inches of snow in some parts of northern Virginia. Western Maryland could get up to a foot. And yet more snow is called for in Boston, which is struggling to dig out from record snowfalls. In some neighborhoods, parking has become a major headache as residents attempt to save precious parking spaces. Northwest of the city in Westford, Massachusetts, emergency responders fought to save victims buried in a barn collapse. 4-legged victims. Heavy snowpack brought the roof down on 7 horses owned by Bob Haig Sr. Local veterinarians volunteered their help.
It's just beautiful. There were just so many people here, and I'm so thankful. And I'm gonna cry again.
But some see an outdoor wonderland. A frozen waterfall in North Carolina provided the perfect opportunity for ice climbing. And flat ground in D.C. proved no obstacle for this kiteboarder near the Washington Monument.
That was Anna Werner reporting. Motorcyclists are speaking out against potential new helmet laws.
The helmet use is not the solution here. The solution is education. It's safety awareness. It's telling those people who are out there with us every day, look out for us.
They packed the Roundhouse yesterday, protesting 2 bills. One would require all motorcyclists to wear a helmet. Another would create a loophole, allowing riders 18 and older to opt out if they buy a nearly $700 registration sticker. Democratic Senator Jerry Ortiz y Pino is sponsoring the bills. He says it's meant to make motorcyclists think twice about the dangers of riding without a helmet.
This bill says you do not have to wear a helmet if you choose not to, but you ought to know that exercising that right is expensive for somebody. We think you ought to bear a portion of that cost.
The bill will be heard in committee on Tuesday. And a bill banning kids from buying e-cigarettes has passed the House. State reps unanimously approved that bill Friday. Right now, almost 40 states keep minors from buying e-cigarettes, but New Mexico is not one of those. The proposal now moves to the Senate. Tomorrow, Santa Fe city councilors are looking for your input on a new proposed ban on miniature bottles of alcohol. They're holding a public meeting to discuss the proposal on a citywide ban on any single-serve bottle that's 8 ounces or less. The goal is to combat litter. Taos has a similar proposal on the table. The meeting is at City Hall tomorrow at 5. Power is back on for several homes in southeast Albuquerque after a car crashed into a light pole. It happened at Lomas in Louisiana yesterday. Police say the driver was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A neighbor told us it was a strange experience.
We heard the bang right away, and then everybody was saying it was somebody had hit a light bulb. So we've been looking out the window to see, and after the lights came on, I came downstairs to see what was going on.
Police say alcohol was not a factor in the crash. And Albuquerque police say one person's in the hospital after they were struck by a car. It happened at Dallas and Central last night. At last word, that pedestrian was in critical condition. The state's health insurance exchange says almost 52,000 New Mexicans signed up for coverage using the healthcare website. Officials say it includes people who selected their plans and those who were automatically re-enrolled. If you have not signed up for health insurance yet, you still have a chance to avoid a tax penalty. The Obama administration announced Friday there will be a special enrollment period from March 15th through the end of April. Doctors believe a medical device most commonly used for procedures on gallbladders and the pancreas is behind the outbreak of a so-called superbug. Craig Boswell reports.
The FDA is reviewing procedures for cleaning and sterilizing a medical device linked to the outbreak of a superbug. An advisory from the agency says some parts of the scopes may be extremely difficult to access, and effective cleaning of all areas of the duodenoscope may not be possible. Critics say the FDA didn't do its job.
They should have made sure that there were sterilization procedures that were fully effective before approving it.
Dr. Diana Zuckerman with the National Center for Health Research says the problem extends beyond this one scope.
Medical devices are not studied as carefully, and so in a lot of cases the FDA is not doing its job, and the doctors don't even realize how unsafe these products can be.
The scopes are used more than 500,000 times a year in the U.S. for a procedure called ERCP to diagnose and treat pancreatic cancer and other conditions. The FDA says there is no alternative device for this procedure, and the benefits of using the scope outweigh the risk. At least 7 patients who underwent the procedure at UCLA Medical Center were infected with a drug-resistant bacteria called KRQE. 2 died, and an 18-year-old student is gravely ill.
That was Craig Boswell reporting. More than 170 people may have been exposed to the superbug at UCLA and are being tested. The hospital has since changed how it sterilizes that equipment. One man is in custody accused of shooting a cop in Minnesota. It happened just before 5 yesterday morning. The city's assistant police chief says the wounded officer had just finished responding to a domestic call with his partner when shots rang out. They say they arrested 43-year-old Andrew Neal in connection with that shooting.
At this time, we're investigating the link between the domestic assault case that Mr. Neal was arrested for and the shooting of one of our officers.
Authorities believe the officer was targeted simply because he is a police officer. Union dock workers are returning to work at West Coast seaports. A labor dispute that led to weeks of shutdowns on Friday night. Negotiators for dock workers and their employers reached a tentative 5-year deal. The agreement restores normal operations at 29 ports where dozens of ships are waiting to unload their goods.
And there was an acute recognition of the fact that this was hurting not only families of workers and the businesses themselves, but this was having a ripple effect on the American economy.
Those ports handle about 1/4 of U.S. international trade. The 5-year contract still needs approval from the dock workers union members.